understand that leadership, it calls for one to stand above board, so that at the end of the day, you provide the so much needed leadership that everyone will look up to. We have welcomed, first I talked about democracy and its values. We value the church. We value the traditions, the traditional, leadership. So in this case, you are talking about the leadership from the church. We value and respect the leadership. And these are the people who are in touch with the poor people. These are the first interface of what poverty is, who knows what we are going through as a nation. But at the same time, we are in this short plan that the president had brought in, that the 3-year period. And that was tied to COVID. And this one, the manifesto, it will start being implemented immediately. We are ushered in after 12 August. That's when you will talk about this manifesto. But for the time being, there's this predicament we have, that is the COVID-19. You can only talk about paying those foreigners if the Zambian people survive today. So it's important that we share whatever we have. First, those foreigners, they can receive money if we arrive as Zambians today. So we value every life. That's why we're saying every life counts in this manifesto. That's our guiding principle. We don't feel good when we hear that a Zambian has died today from COVID. A Zambian has died today because of poverty. These are the two things which are forcing us now to look and re-strategize to help our people. And these churches, they have had a challenge. Even day one, even when I came here, I think in April, the people were first crying about the COVID and its effect. They were first felt by the church. And then others, they came to experience the same effect. To this very day, I can tell you, it's not UCZ which has suffered a lot of deaths. It's my church, where I'm coming from, the Catholic Church. We have lost a lot of priests. And for us, the loss of one life, one priest, it means we have lost one library of a theologian. We have lost a life that would have been saving lives. So we wouldn't want to have such a scenario continue happening. So this is the reason why we came up with these packages. We started with the musician. The musician, remember, in June, they came up using social media complaining that you are not helping us. That was in a predicament, protesting in the midst of a pandemic. So the Ministry of Tourism has addressed that one. They have given them equipment and then also management fee to make sure that they start operating. And then you have already talked about the fishery industry, where we have been giving goats, where we are giving people capital to start with these ponds, so that at the end of the day, as a nation, we diversify and we continue on that positive trajectory of being resilient. So even in these hard times, we are talking about the third position, grain, being produced. It's because under the leadership of the Vice President, disaster management, they have been responding well to all the human disaster that we have been having. There are these issues which we have been dealing with, like the northern region, it was almost submerged. Almost 4 million people were underwater. Eastern province, it was a shocker. These are what they are classifying as flash floods, flash floods. So basically, to us, we welcome divergent views. We welcome the church. They can come up very critical, but at the end of the day, it's their criticism which will make us to stand on the toe. As I said, our principle has been always to remain patriotic and to remain representing the interests of the Zambians, because we are a pro-poor party. We are with the poor 24/7.
Okay, let's look at the question of land.
Yes.
This is a contentious issue anywhere in the world, especially in Africa. And in Zambia, foreigners are allowed to own land, large tracts of land, at the expense of indigenous Zambians. How does your manifesto hope to address this issue?
If you look at the issue of land as we stand today, it's only this PF which has proposed to the Zambian people that he would want to give almost 50% of the land to the Zambian people. As we stand today, the land that you are saying that we are fighting with the foreigners, if you ask yourself, which chunk of land have we given to the foreigners, you will find that there won't be anywhere closer to say that we have given this land to these people. The Patriot Front, as we believe ourselves, we have always believed in giving empowerment to our people, not giving foreigners. We are very different from the MMD. The MMD believed in selling almost everything. For us, the same land that you are talking about that you have been giving it to foreigners, there has just been a myopic misconception, like these, the 4 bridges that we have built. The Indian government came, it has come to our side to say, no, we'll partner with you. You put in a 5 million towards the 14 million, we construct you a road, and then you pay us as we go on. That does not mean we are giving land to foreigners. So the land as we stand today, 80% it belongs to the traditional land. The only problem which we have in Zambia, everybody wants to fight land in Lusaka district. Everybody wants to fight for land just here within Lusaka district. But we just start from Chibombo, going upwards. It's all empty land. It's all traditional land. You and me are not interested in going to. So we get confused when people they are talking about land ownership, because 80% it is under traditional land. And this is the reason why we are proposing 50% out of this 80% would want to deliberately be given to women and our youths. These ponds that we have continued giving our people, they are vast arable land that we are giving our people to. And you know, the misconception which is there, which is very unfortunate, is that one of saying we are giving this land to foreigners. That one of, let's say, I'll give you a classic example of where IDIS has partnered together with one of the companies, one of the major companies, let's say Zambif. Can one clarify Zambia as a foreigner? Just because, you know, we should be very careful when it comes to tagging people that these are foreigners. There are people, those who are of Indian origin, who are Zambians. Just like me myself, I'm a Congolese by origin. I come from Kukola by origin. There are others who are coming to this country who have been here for almost 100 years. They have maintained that territory of Indian skin. But we shouldn't say that these are foreigners.
I think people would be talking about specific. I think
the Chinese.
The Chinese.
The coming in of the Chinese. If you look at the Chinese are very good people. These are people who have gone in far-flung areas where ourselves have been failing. They go and do mining in far-flung areas where we thought manganese wouldn't be mined. Would you stop such? We have been talking about we are endowed with these resources, but we don't want to leave Lusaka. You and me, we don't want to leave Lusaka. We are busy talking on the radio here. But the manganese, it is there in deposit form. But who will come and mine that? And this is the reason why you find that foreigners, when they come, like this one, where you find that somebody who was given a contract, is it some concessional rights under the means of mine, I think, concerning gold in Rufunza and then also in the Northwestern, and he said, you know, I'm going to bring equipment worth 2 million to mine this gold. Ourselves, for how long have we been sitting with this gold? In Mumbwa, in Rufunza, and in Northwestern?
Have the people been exposed to this information, for example, that there's gold, that there's manganese, that, you know, how can the government how can government create what is called an enabling environment for people to go into this mining ventures?
It is coming for the first time. It's happening under the Patriot Front that people have learned that they can become artisan miners. It's happening under the Patriot Front that gold is being pronounced as a different many product, not as a byproduct, but a mainstay product, which we can say we have a gold mine here. And it's happening under the Patriot Front that we have now started accumulating reserves in form of gold. So basically, it can't go beyond that. We are telling the people that you go to Bank of Zambia. If you have gold, you mine, you can still sell to Bank of Zambia through the IDC. You can also do a lot of projects to do with magnesium, that if you are in Luapula. If you are in the Eastern Province, there are these emeralds. For those who are in Ndora Rural, there are those emeralds. And there are Eastern Province, there are a lot of these precious minerals. But basically what is important is that let's register companies. This is the reason why for the first time, we have a culture of cooperatives. You have heard, no, they are now, the PF is now talking about cooperative. When you go there, can you come as 2020, you form up a cooperative. That's the education that we are doing to our people. But the unfortunate part is that I remember very well, we have passed through the Zambian system of education. At no time did the teacher bring to me, tell me, this is copper, this is how copper looks like, this is how God looks like, this is a sample of this. Our education system is very bad. It has been very bad from day one. Because if you look at the way our friends are exposed, you are supposed to know the minerals, how manganese looks like. But it has been theory throughout from grade 1 to grade 12. It has been theory. Even at University of Zambia and these other higher institute of learning, they have not been exposed to that. So it's important that deliberately we should tell a child, today we are in Zambia. We talk about, we have this, we have inherited these big 5 cats. Ask a child in Kalingalinga, or how does a lion look like? They don't know. Have you been to Big Fours? We don't know. So there are a lot of things that our education system need to relook at. So basically, it also comes to the same minerals. We are here, we are only given 5 years, the mandate. And basically, ours is not that one of making sure to educate people, but it has been our deliberate policy to make sure that the education, as I said earlier on, we have divided it into our education and then also this lower education. So that at the end of the day, we have at least people are coming out of this system, education system, who knows what we have been talking about. So basically, the PF has done a lot.
Still talking about your manifesto and what it plans to do for Zambians. Let's look at foreigners who have also been allowed to monopolize simple businesses, such as cooking in Shima in the markets, as well as making building blocks. How can you address that question? Because only last week or early this week, people were demonstrating, I think in Kalingalinga, saying, look, we've been thrown out of business by these foreigners because people are no longer buying blocks from us. How can you, as a party, how are you addressing that seeming injustice which is driving Zambians out of business?
You know, when I came here, I talked about last time that there's a deliberate project or policy which has been rolled out to the Zambian people, and that was through Tembo and the presidential initiative. And you were telling me that where does this all money is coming from? What? I remember very well. Yes, I was talking about Tembo has been going across the nation, giving people, empowering with them with Fikombola, empowering with these hatching machines, giving them barbershop equipment, and then others were given, I think, things like, is it taxis? So that they also tapping into the transport sector. These are some of the exercises. We have also that one of Ega buses. Almost 100 were given to Zambians, the drivers. They were actually given to the drivers themselves to manage. But where we stand today, we find that a Zambian cannot manage what we dream. There's a problem of laziness. And that it's a spiritual problem. It's a way we have, the church itself, it has addressed it. People, they are told that there will be miracle money on your account. There will be, instead of you remaining at the market cooking, you satisfy the need of your customers. You want to rush to a pastor to go and hear what the pastor will be talking about. You know, miracle money, or God will bless you this year, will bless you this. Instead of working 60 days, we are supposed to labor, but we are doing it opposite. 60 days, we are at church. A day, we are working. Foreigners have taken advantage of that. They see that as an opportunity. If you look at the rearing of chickens, we are very lazy. No, me, as long as they raise 300 chickens, as long as but look at the population has been growing. Should you remain in the 1990, is it 2011 when you are rearing, is it only 100 chickens? You still remain at 100 even today, 2020. No, that shouldn't be the case. So basically for us as the Patriotic Front, we are telling our people to jack up our tokens. Let us jack up our tokens. These simple businesses, it's because the foreigners, they are saying we are not doing enough. The chicken industry, Talk about even the charcoal industry itself.
The block making.
The block making, yes. It's because we are not doing enough. We are there doing, but halfway you find that you find that a foreigner, when you start making blocks, it will be 24/7. Ourselves is just 3 hours and then you come over face. You think you can compete like that? Remember, in 1991, we came up with what we said, this is an open economy. We said the foreigners are most welcome. Let foreigners come in with their money so that this economy may grow. Today, this is the reason why we do not have a shortfall of cabbages. We do not have a shortfall of all these essential commodities, which Churu, at the end of the day, bragged after 5 years. He said, now to quarter cooking oil. Today we can have shoes. People are wearing shoes. Today people are wearing t-shirts. Saraula came in. Everything came in. But we need to move further than that.
Okay.
Instead of waiting for our friends from Asians who have been procuring Saraula in Balos, let us move a step further. Ourselves, we should go and source these barrels from Australia, or we go to Brazil to source these things. And I know we have a lot of brave Zambians who have known Dubai way back. Others were even, because they became so much associated, because they were making huge profits, they were saying, no, they are going to Dubai, they are selling their ears. So basically, religion also has a very big role to play the way we perceive things. Okay. Let us not sit back and idolize, say, no, God is going to bless us. Let's go out there and maximize our potential. Let's maximize our hard work.
As a party, how would you empower Zambians, for example, those in the block making machine industry, to, one, improve the quality of their blocks, but also to know that out there on the market, there's a big market which they can participate into. How can you help them to understand what is happening on the market?
You know, when it comes to business, unfortunately, you learn it a hard way. You don't need a politician to come and tell you, no, this is how we do it. No, I'll give you Mkazileta means of education or means of water. We have this, whatever. It's a competition. It's an open market. We have to learn it a hard way. Look at, we had the foreigners when we took the reins of power in 2011. We had the Lebanese and these other people. You go at these shopping malls, they are the only one who are cooking this chicken tandoori. Today, we have Zambians. It's almost, they have been impressed. Very rare that you can even find a foreigner, whom you are calling foreigner, or these people with light skin who are doing that. Because we have learned it a hard way. After 10 years or after 5 years, we are doing chicken tandoori on our own. We are also making, this chicken shawarma on our own. We have learned in a hard way. Foreigners came, they gave us this idea. So it is with block making. Block making, if you find that our friends who are coming from, mostly from Egypt, and then also this Saudi Arabia or the other one there, they are the one who provide these better services when it comes to block quality. So let's learn from them. So that after 5 years, we must replace them with quality. Because when it comes to building houses, you and I would want to buy a block which has sand.
Okay.
No, that's killing us. Yeah. So I would rather get it from a foreigner who is not stealing money from me. So
that's the skills transfer, which I would like you to categorically state. How would you help Zambians?
Listen, the only thing which we can do Zambian, this is a religious thing. If you are not truthful to yourself, if Christ cannot consciously tell you we are doing a wrong. Instead of putting 3 pockets of cement as a ratio, you are putting 1 pocket of cement. And you are an engineer already. Do you think there will be anything who come and tell you that, please,
your quality is poor?
Your quality is poor. Look at your friends, the Muslims. They are following their religion with their faith. When they are saying they are going to put 3 pockets of cement, they will say they will be accountable to Allah. They will provide that one because they are believing that they will put quality and they will be providing quality, and out of that quality they are going to have value. So it is with ourselves as Christians. As we do these projects, let's work as we are working for Christ. And this is the reason why for us as a Patriotic Front, we have taken the church to be the #1 in all these things. Because, stealing, theft, it comes just from these block making machines. if somebody, you are an engineer already, or you have a certificate in block making, or just experience from these other ones, why should you give your neighbor a wrong block which has a poor ratio?
Okay.
That now speaks volume on the morality,
Okay.
on the Zambian mindset.
Okay.
So for us, the only thing which we can do is under the means of religious affairs. And this is the reason why we are always calling for people in October, is it 17th or 18th, to come together and reconcile with their consciences. So that they may come up renewed and then say, no, this year, since a better common.
Okay.
If you are a civil servant, if you are a broke maker,
I'll put the right quantity.
The quantities,
okay.
Yes.
You are tuned to United Voice Radio, Add Your Voice. Our guest is Mr. Chendela Mukondo, former PF Lusaka Provincial Secretary and member of the PF Information and Publicity Desk. Our topic is, can PF deliver under the new manifesto? Mr. Mukondo, the PF manifesto speaks to the need for proper mineral management for Zambians to own gold, emerald, manganese mines, which you have alluded to. But they're not being empowered with funding unless you are relying on the CEEC or ZDA, whose capacity is doubtful. How can Zambians, for example, who want to form a cooperative, go into mining of gold or manganese? How can they be assisted? Is your manifesto addressing this issue?
You know, there is a cooperative which is the mother of all cooperatives, and that is under, I think, Kalumbila cooperative, the mother of all cooperatives. And
in terms of the mining?
The mining. And it's not only dealing with mining, it's very broad. It is even helping nurses to come together, and I think the general director has been on ground. And this is the reason why today we are talking about this gold which has been mined in Rufunza, in Mumbwa, and then also in Northwestern, because of such initiative. And also manganese, which was just being mined and being moved out of the country, going through the northern borders. So basically, I think for us, it's timely, and we have demonstrated. And this is the reason why we used to have instances like what happened. You find that, like, is it 2 days ago, you find that an illegal miner was shot. We used to have such incidences in the MMD. It was an order of the day. And to kill a Zambian like that, it was always normal. But today, it's something which is very, 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 very different, in the sense that the PF has taken these steps very seriously of helping our people in terms of cooperatives, and then also showing them where these minerals are. And the thing of saying we give people money, that has been done before under the MMD. Giving people money is not the right thing. The best thing to do is the way we have been doing it. If you go to Mansa, we have these training schools for helping our people to be skilled. And then secondly, the way the means of youth have been doing it. If you want to do gold mining, they give you equipment, an equivalent of equipment. They tell you, go and they procure these equipment. And unfortunately, as I said, the mindset is that a Zambian, you give him equipment, you'll be the first one to start just renting it out, instead of him going out into the mining. So basically, it's the mindset. But this government has demonstrated leadership, and the capacity has been demonstrated. And this is the reason why the opposition today, they are saying all this money that the PF now is showing on the, on the 11th hour, which they are giving, empowering our people, it's now satanic money. It's because...
Where has it come from? Where has it come from? Where has it come from?
We talked about the 10 billion when I came here. We talked about the 10 billion package that was meant to redeem first the big companies, and then we also injected the 6 million that the vice president gave our people a year ago. So basically, when people are being given out money to assist them, especially that we are in this COVID environment, people they are thinking that because we are in that 3-year plan period. So we planned for this and we have continued, have set aside that money. And we told the Zambian people, can you invest in these bonds so that we can make available to our youths? Okay. Now that the money is available, now people are saying that
this is a satanic money.
Satanic money.
One of the hallmarks of your manifesto, the PF manifesto, Mr. Mukondo, is democracy and governance.
Yes.
But when one examines the way the opposition is treated in Zambia, one begins to wonder whether the PF government is serious about constitutionalism and the rule of law. I think specifically about the Public Order Act and the opposition not being given an opportunity to assemble freely, etc., etc.
If you look at the Public Order Act, when MMD was ushered into power, was it not the same Public Order Act? It was the same. Even in Kaunda, when he won power in 1994, it is the same Public Order Act. It has never changed its form from 1964, from 1954.
From 1964 with KK1.
Yes, because it was enacted somewhere in the 50s.
Yes.
Yeah, 54, 57, 1954 somewhere there. Kaunda won under the same conditions. We jump to 1991. MMD won under the same conditions. And then ourselves as a Patriot Fund in 2011, we have won under the same condition of the Public Order Act. In fact, the problem is that we have under 5 politicians, under 5 opposition. If you look at Michael Sata, the Michael Sata in opposition can tell you that he was a serious man. We have people now who have even, you cannot control the air of the way it is happening today. In 2011, did we have United Radio? We didn't have. Today, there's United Radio. We have a lot of radio stations dotted across the nation. You go anywhere, you will find that there are 10 or 15 radio stations in one seat. So basically, to us, we have moved in tandem with the times. We have continued what we have been talking about, good governance, and then also to make sure that our people continue participating in our democracy. So coming to the Public Order Act, we have social media. Instead of gathering in terms of 10, people as we are here, they have gathered in different localities. They are able to watch us. They are able to see us. We are here because of technology has happened. But in 2011, some of us, we didn't have that privilege as when we were in opposition. But today, the technology itself, it favors the opposition who are crying. But the problem, they are crying babies. And this is the reason why we are calling them. They are keyboard warriors. They are very brave behind the keyboard. And they can issue anything. Call Edgar Lungu a dictator. Tomorrow again, they will call anyone this. They will call, they can insult, they can do anything. In fact, today as we stand, the opposition of today, they have better platform on which to talk to the people.
To campaign.
Yes, and deterred. These platforms, you can even talk to 200,000. Like, we have the PF platform, where I'm coming from, the information and publicity. We have almost above 200,000 people whom we can communicate to on a daily basis. Was that happening in 2010? No. So the opposition of today, they are not serious. They are crying babies. They think power can only be given to them. More Edgar Lungu, Basile, Navev, Warulinga Maningi, 6 years ya Mwankalapo, ya Kokola, Matemzi ya Kwana, Pasen, PF, Jokan Koni, to develop, you came just to do infrastructure development. Now it's your time to leave others to come. They think it's just that easy to change. No. We are running a government, we are running people's lives, and they must be consistent.
Okay.
And it's only when there are justifiable grounds that you can change a government. But as we stand today, the Public Order Act, as we stand today, we even gave them an opportunity. Can we improve the Public Order Act? So that at the end of the day, you can have the Public Order Act changed to the way you would want to do under the Bill 10. But unfortunately, even that one, it didn't
history.
work.
Okay.
It's history. We didn't agree.
Okay.
We're a democracy. So basically, for us, it's not here and there that the political space has been reduced. In fact, it has been increased. Because today, Royal meeting, if she wants, you can just go live, talk. Do we ban, even stop anybody from going airing? Today, Tukuta can do anything, can be dancing. That is the politics that we are enjoying today.
Okay. We'll be opening the phone line soon, but let's look at the energy sector. First of all, the high cost of electricity to the ordinary consumer, and also the high cost of fuels to the motorists. The energy sector, we have water bodies all over. How is your manifesto attempting to develop power generation, either hydro or solar, to meet the demands? But also, let's look at the energy, the fuels. Petrol, diesel, and other fuels are reported to be very expensive in Zambia, purportedly because of middlemen who are involved in the procurement of fuel. We know that the rate of the exchange rate of the kwacha is gone over the top, at 23 kwacha to $1. Just how is your manifesto, your party, trying to address these issues?
When it comes to energy, I would want to start it historically so that our people appreciate the historical component of it. And then until 2016, when the president said, I will be making decisions, and some of these decisions will like me, some of them you won't like me. But what is important is I want to move this country from where we are. And I think at 2015, 2016, the water bodies were badly hit with climate change. And this climate change, I think it started hitting us as way back. It's not a phenomenon which has been affiliated with the PF. It started way back, I think, in 2009. The MMD started talking about this. And in 2016, it is part of the Republican Constitution. So I want to tell the Zambian people that we should